Hello, strategic thinkers, and welcome to Strategic Thinking Systems. My name is Priya Bains, and I help with the decision making and cognitive architectures at STS. What we have done is designed this tool to help individuals and teams in small and medium sized businesses who work with complex ideas to make decisions. So, you might have an innovative idea that you'd like to explore further. Perhaps you have a sustainability initiative you'd like to implement, or you have a course or curriculum you may want to design for your business. So you can use STS for hundreds of scenarios, and we'd love to know what you've used it for. All you have to do is go to sts42.com right now. You can sign up. It's completely free for now. And then we'd love to hear how you used it and what your experience was. I'm going to walk you through a scenario, and then after you've seen that scenario, you'll have a sense of different ways to use the tool, and then you can use it for yourself. And please do come back and let us know what you think. So what I'm going to do with you today is work through a remote work policy scenario. So this isn't a real client. I actually got some ideas for scenarios using ChatGPT. So this is a scenario for a small, medium enterprise in a digital marketing sector who is considering making remote work a permanent option post-pandemic to attract and retain talent. So their decision is to determine, do they want to go fully remote, hybrid, or have an office-centric return to work model. And there are a few factors to consider here, which are employee preferences, productivity trends observed during remote work, cost implications, and potential impacts. So what I've done here is I've laid out a study that will help them consider all of these factors. And then working with artificial intelligence AIs in the form of what we have called a companion. And what you can do with our companion is you can create context. So you can see here, we are a small, medium enterprise in digital marketing, right? It's right here, small, medium enterprise in digital marketing. I've assumed this business has approximately 20 employees because they are in the digital marketing tech sector, and they want to determine if they should offer remote, hybrid, or a return to office-centric model, as you can see here. So I've laid out what we call the context, and when I work with the agent, which is really an artificial intelligence model like ChatGPT, it will take this context into account. And when I say like ChatGPT, I will show you here. We can work with GPT models 3.5, 4, and we also have Cohere, and in the future we'll be adding other artificial intelligence models as well, or large language models, and you will be able to ask different language models different types of questions, and you will be able to compare the responses so that you make sure you're getting the type of output and content that you want to receive, and you don't have to rely on a single model. You can compare and contrast to make sure that you're getting the right kinds of results. So for this scenario, as I mentioned earlier, I laid out employee preferences. We've got productivity trends observed during remote work periods. I've got some cost implications, and then I've got some potential impacts. And I'm going to work with the agent and show you how I can work with the agent, or how you might work with the agent to get the types of results that you want. So you can see here there's some survey items and some employee responses. So what I did is I built in a little bit of a cheat so I don't take too long to compose these ideas doing this live right now. So what I'm going to do in terms of this context component is I'm going to give this particular agent some expertise in survey design. So I've given the agent expertise in survey design just by gliding that over, and I prepared these components in advance, okay? And what I want to do is learn about employee preferences. So I want some survey items. How do I gather some information about employee preferences in my organization? So I've written this prompt here. It's very straightforward, just a direct question. Whatever you would ask a consultant supporting you, you would ask a similar type of question. So I've prompted the agent with help me design a survey with 5 items or less to identify employee preferences related to remote work. That's not hard to do. It's literally exactly what I need. It's not a very refined prompt. I'm just asking a question. I've already got the context here. So I'm going to run this, and my survey design agent or expert which is currently running on ChatGPT 4, is going to give me a series of survey questions. How would you rate your productivity when you're working from home compared to working in the office? Much less productive, somewhat less productive, about the same, etc. Which work model do you prefer? Fully remote, hybrid, fully in office? We've got some preferences there. If a hybrid model is implemented, how many days per week would you prefer to be in the office? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are the main challenges you face while working remotely? That we've got an open-ended question. And do you have any suggestions or specific needs to improve your remote work experience? So we've got a variety of questions, and I can ask the model this question several times and I will get several different answers. So I'm not, just for the sake of this demonstration, I'm not going to have the answers here, but I'm going to move the questions over and I'm going to save them in this section. So as you noted, I selected these questions and I'm just going to move them over with one click of a button. So now all the questions are moved here. I've saved them. I'm going to clear this out, the questions, because I don't need them anymore. So I'm just going to clear that out. And let's say and I will get an error because there is no prompts. And let's say I gathered this information. So how would you rate your productivity? I could store the answers to these questions right next to them and have the collated employee responses in this section. So how would you rate your productivity when working from home when compared to working in the office? Let's say we got an average rating of 3. So I'm going to just put that here. Which model do you prefer? Let's say they all said hybrid. And you get the idea. Oops, I can't type. You get the idea. So we would be able to say, okay, number 1, go, and I can even edit within here. So that's the answer for number 1. The answer for number 2. And you could have this, I really cannot write hybrid today. You can have this information compared on a point-to-point basis. So that's how we might play with employee preferences. Now, I told you I prepared these things in advance. I don't want my agent to have this type of expertise anymore. So I'm going to move this away. And we're going to go to the second section. And so now we're looking for productivity trends observed during remote work periods. And now I think I want some research off the net. So I'm going to get some research findings, okay? So I'm going to give the agent some context. You have expertise in research related to productivity and remote work trends. So I'm going to give it this expertise. And you know what? I'm looking for research. So I want some website links. I don't want it to hallucinate answers. So I want to make sure I have some good website links here. And now I'm going to prompt the agent again. Help me find some research articles outlining productivity trends related to remote work. I'm going to pop that in here. I'm going to run it. And it should take just about a second. Sometimes I have to scroll a little bit for the answer to come because it's sending the information back to the ChatGPT, and then it's going to produce a response here. So here we go. We've got some articles. Does working from home work? Evidence from a Chinese experiment. Productivity pitfalls of working from home in the age of COVID-19. And we've got the link. So if I wanted to check out a link, I just click that link and the article pops out right here. How many jobs can be done at home? So I've got some research. If I wanted to, I could download that PDF. So let's just say, oh, I like this article. Effects of remote work on collaboration among information workers. Those are probably good. So I want to keep the links as well. Working from home and productivity research on work and telecommuting. Okay, so I like these 6. So let's see if I can just move these right over here and save them for later. And there we go. I've saved these articles. I can come back to them at a later time. Now, let's say I want to devise a strategy to get a sense of the remote work trends within my organization now. So I don't need website links anymore. I could keep this expertise in research related to productivity and remote trends, but I want help. I do want help designing a methodology to capture data related to our internal work trends. So I'm going to just put that in here, and I'm going to run it. And again, it just might take a couple of seconds. There, it's cleared the old response out. And in a second or two, should have this response. There we go. So I got a methodology. It's telling me to identify some key metrics, survey employees, use some digital tools to automatically capture the data, conduct interviews, and it's advising me to regularly gather and identify trends in the data, and then pilot different methods, and then use that data from the pilot to make some decisions, and then again to review. So I get the idea of the regular review. I don't really need that. And I get this idea of analyzing data regularly. But the rest of the steps I like, so I'm going to just move them over. And so I've saved all of this information so I can follow this strategy at a later time. Okay? So now I've got a methodology, and I can keep going through this process, implementing, building, asking questions, coming back, giving the agents new expertise, and going through and through. So here's another sort of one with cost implications. So I'm going to look for a business consultant, and I'm going to give this business consultant expertise in workplace strategy and cost analysis. I'm going to move that expertise over. And then I'm going to ask it to help me identify factors to consider when assessing the cost implications of office space versus remote infrastructure. Okay, so I'm going to give the prompt there. I'm going to run it, and it'll take a few seconds again. But as you can see, I can keep sort of building, preparing. I can give the agent different types of expertise. I can ask different kinds of questions. If I don't know anything, I just start with the first question that comes to mind, and then I just keep building, and I keep thinking about the type. What kind of expert would have access to this information? So this time I've got my expert is a business consultant with experience in workplace strategy and cost analysis, and I'm getting these types of outputs: office space cost, technology and infrastructure cost, employee productivity, recruitment, retention, travel, commuting, training and development, meeting collaboration, health and safety, flexibility, business continuity. So even if I have expertise or you have expertise in many of these areas, all these ideas might not come to mind right away, but we can work with the AI in collaboration and gather these ideas and have everything laid out in front of us. We can have the questions there, we can have the methodologies there, we can have some of our results there, and then we can start to move things around and start to narrow the information available to us by building out more of these various areas. I could choose to, let's say I like, I identified some key metrics, but let's just say I wanted to survey employees first. Maybe I'll do that before I identify some key metrics. So I can move things around. I can prioritize things. And there's so many different ways that you can use this tool. I can move infinitely to the right. I can move infinitely towards the bottom of this screen. I can put in immense amounts of information on the screen, and I can work with this agent, restructure this companion or agent, as we like to call it, and come up with different ways of gathering the information I need. We can even go into potential impacts. So, I'm now on an organizational psychologist with expertise in team dynamics and company culture. If I wanted to do that, I'd remove the old experience here. And now I'm going to add the experience of the organizational psychologist. And now add a prompt about assessing the culture, this current situation, and potential impacts of remote work. And I'm going to get a different kind of an answer. So what I would love it if you sign up at sts42.com. You will get some preparatory instructions at the beginning of this page. If you are on the STS YouTube page, there will be training videos. Watch those videos, play with this tool, see what kinds of results you get, see how much more productive you become using this tool. Because what I find when you use ChatGPT or another large language model and you use a chatbot, you get a very linear structure. This allows you to save information, move information around, structure it, and you're really only limited by your own creativity. So would love it if you test this out and then come back to this video, comment below, let us know what kind of problem you tried to solve, what was your experience like, and we're going to keep building. This is just the beginning, and we want to get better and better, so would love to hear your feedback, and I will talk to you soon. Again, Priya, and welcome to Strategic Thinking Systems. Have a great day.